up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Let me drop me a comment. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me. Let me know if you are working hard or if you're playing harder this weekend. I am excited to see chat with y'all today about some reflections that I've had this week about my Millionaire Private Island Mastermind experience. Several of you, maybe if you're tuning in and you've been keeping an eye on my stories, keeping an eye on my timeline, you'll get at least a hint that this week was a little bit different for me. But not me hosting my own retreat, not me hosting my own event, not me creating content and giving strategy, but me being poured into. I was invited by my coach's coach. Many of you know my business acceleration coach, Donna St. Louis. My coach's coach hosted a private island millionaire mastermind. And the mastermind itself was located in the Florida Keys area. It was an event that was for the highest level of client they had invested at least 100,000 to be in the room. So I'm going to share with you some of my reflections from participating in that mastermind, but then how you can leverage the things that I learned and apply them to your own business. But before we get into the nitty gritty and the juicy details, let me introduce myself. If you're brand spanking new to my page, my name is Chanel. Coaches and experts hire me when they have offers that they're ready to launch. They want to 10x their business by year end. And we do that with cash generating revenue, cash generating content strategies, as well as revenue acceleration tips through the Fire Savvy Mastermind. So the Millionaire Private Island Mastermind, we arrive in a place, that you're not super familiar with, helicopters and private ferries and private islands and catered lunches in. There's a lot of glitz that goes into a millionaire private island mastermind. Some of it, to be honest, was something that I was not like super comfortable with, like helicopters, for example. That was my first time riding in a helicopter. I had no desire to be in a helicopter. I have this crazy phobia of like just dying in a crash in a small aircraft, in a small helicopter. But I recognized that this was an opportunity for me to lean in and do some things in a different way. And so that helicopter kind of was like the start of me just kind of like pulling that mask back and being like, you know what, like, let's do it. Let's do something different. So lesson number one on, hey, Cindy. So lesson number one, or tip number one, takeaway number one that I got from the Millionaire Private Island Mastermind is there's always bigger. There's always bigger. Whatever level we're at, we can always go harder. Whatever level we're at, we can always go higher. Playing small doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve our families. It doesn't serve our community. And you know who it also doesn't serve? It doesn't serve the clients that we are so passionate about helping, and so passionate about helping them succeed, and so passionate about getting them to their next level and getting their transformation. So there's always bigger. So the lesson number one that I walked away with was that, like, the playing small for me literally ended on that island. You're going to start to see new ways that I'm showing up, new ways that Fire Savvy is going to show up. But it really is going to be reflective also in my clients, because I'm not going to allow them to play small either. Takeaway number two, and this was, I think, one of like the most reflective ones for me. All three of them were, but this one was for me, is not to overthink. And I'm specifically speaking to my fellow sisters that are out here, my fellow either done for you service providers or service consultants, but coaches as well. Don't overthink your offers. Sometimes we feel like, okay, well, if I'm going to charge someone, if I'm going to put together this 25K offer, this 50K offer, I got to put all of this stuff into it. I got to, put all the bells and whistles into it. I know I'm not the only one. I'm a host, I'm gonna make this membership, and I'm gonna put all this stuff into it. And And what that tends to do is when we think about all the stuff that we put into it, one, it makes us tired. Two, it makes us procrastinate. And then three, it makes us chase perfectionism instead of progress. And so when you're thinking about your offers, when you're thinking about how you're going to show up for your clients, let's not overthink it. You got to have your expertise. 100. You got to have your expertise. 100, right? You got to have access for your clients to be able to get to you, get to your product, get to your service. But what our clients really want is they want that result. They want that transformation. They want access to us. And so let's not continue to overthink how we are crafting our offers, how we're crafting our message, and let's just do it. Yes, Cindy, I agree. You know, we overthink it all the time. And again, I'm speaking specifically, you know, to my women, to my fellow sisters out here. I seen it. I was in a room with majority of men during this Millionaire Mastermind. And, you know, it's the women that were like, hey, like, I'm going to put together this 100K offer and it's going to include this, it's going to include that, and this, and this. And the men are just kind of like, nah, they get me. That's what it is. Right. And so not saying that you can't offer things that you know is going to transform your client, that you know your client wants, but also let's not overthink it. Right. Let's not overthink it and lead it down that spiral of not moving forward. My third takeaway, my third transformation, my third aha moment, I guess if you want to call it that, is your transformation is not always going to be convenient. Your access to you being in rooms is not always going to be convenient. This private island mastermind, I flew in from DC into Tampa to meet my coach Donna. We flew to Miami. We rented a car. We drove. We drove from Miami to the Keys. Got stuck in traffic, so our journey probably was about 4 hours or so. Rented an Airbnb that was not included in the mastermind cost. Had to take a ferry every day from a dock that there was very little parking over to the private island. With, you know, not your own comforts, right? But sometimes your transformation is not going to be comfortable. You know, we talk ourselves out of being into the room before we even get invited. Oh, well, I'm not going to go because I have to book a flight. Oh, I'm not going to go because I don't know anybody there. Oh, I'm not going to go because, and when we list out all of these excuses, and that's really what it is, it's excuses, because we're not going to be in the comfort of our own conveniences, right? So your transformation is not always going to be convenient. When you get invited to something, don't think of all the reasons why you can't do it. Don't think of all the reasons why it's not going to work out. Sometimes that transformation literally is not going to be comfortable. And as we go to the next level and raising up and being able to impact our families, impact our communities, is not always going to be convenient. It's not always going to be comfortable for us. So that was my third takeaway. And then I do have a bonus takeaway. I said I was going to do 3, but as I was reflecting, I have 4. The biggest thing of all that I see reflected in the rooms, again, I was in a room with millionaires, multimillionaires who had invested at least 100K to be in that spot, is the fast action. So we might not have all of the pieces that we need to close out our year, right? But let's think about what it is you want to do, even if it's just one thing. What is it that you want to do for 2023? Hit 100K month, impact and invite 25 new people into your community, introduce a new physical product, whatever it is. How can you make that happen in 90 days? If we say that we're going to do these things, if we say that we're going to show up bigger in our business and we're going to stop playing small, the fast action, even if it's imperfect, the fastest way that we can get it moving and get it done and get it in motion creates that momentum, creates that viral visibility, creates that it proves yourself that, you know what, I'm onto something. I got this and I can test it. Some of us sit on these ideas and we don't execute them, and then we're delaying that testing process. So that's my fourth bonus tip, bonus transformation takeaway that I got from the Millionaire Private Island Mastermind. So I'm appreciative for being in the room, for being in the space. It was an awesome experience. I appreciate my coach Donna for inviting me to be in that space. We had a really good time. If y'all could see, we conquered some fears. We were vocal about things that we wanted to be built out in our programs. But more importantly, we showed up in a bold way so that we can bring it back for our clients. So keep an eye on my timeline for the next week, because now I am co-hosting our Unmastermind event this week. It kicks off Monday, but I'll be prepping and doing all that stuff starting today, to be honest. So for coaches, experts who want to literally accelerate their business, get to that millionaire level, get to that mid 6, 7 level, and they're like, I need a proven cheat code on getting it done. I need somebody to take a deep dive into my business and look at the programs, look at the offers that I have, look at how I'm marketing, look at how I'm showing up, and looking at the sales techniques. That's what we're starting. That's what we're doing this week. So keep an eye on my timeline. You're going to be intrigued. You're going to be like, what in the world are they doing? Is that a stripper pole that I'm seeing? Yes. Keep an eye on my stories. Keep an eye on my timeline. We got 20 coaches and business owners that are coming in, and we're hosting them in a mansion. And when I tell you they're going to walk away in 3 days with the transformation of a lifetime, woo, this is going to set the tone for the rest of the year. So keep an eye on my stories. And if you got questions about either the Millionaire Private Island Mastermind or how you can get involved with the firesavvy.net movement, get in my DMs. I would love to chat. Have an awesome rest of your day, awesome rest of the weekend. And I look forward to seeing you online soon.